What's up, nerds? Welcome to another episode of Nerdy Entertainment Syndicate. We're coming to you from the NES headquarters aboard the USS Enterprise. I want to give a quick thank you to Captain Kirk for these snazzy red shirts we got on today. I'm Andrew.
This is Lowe's.
What's happening, Los?
Not much, man. I'm just trying to work around with my phaser here. It's not working.
Not working? You set it on stun?
Yeah, it did.
No good.
No.
Anyways, well, today we got an episode all about Wondercon. We just had Wondercon this past weekend.
God, what a tiring, exhausting weekend.
Exhausted?
Dead, man. Legs are killing me.
I'm doing all right now. I'm doing good. But just to
What a
start off
great
with,
3 days, though, man.
it has been the most amazing weekend. Maybe even week because of the Superman that came out. Batman Superman came out this week.
So it was a fun week for
Just amazing week for me. It was the best weekend I've ever had, especially at a convention.
Yeah, the first day of WonderCon was pretty good for me, especially because I took the family.
Nice, yeah.
So, the cool thing about cons is that if you do the whole pass, the 2 day or 3 day pass, you could pace yourself, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you
don't have to cram
advice.
everything in.
Your first day is your recon day.
Yeah, the way I like to do it, I've been doing it for maybe 4 years. I learned after the first year. I usually do, for the big ones like WonderCon or a Kamikaze, I do the full 3 day pass and I go 3 days. Friday I do the recon, just go up and down each aisle, just kind of checking out all the goods and the selling and the arts and the
Yep. See who's
crafts
going to
and
be there
stuff.
to sign, what times and everything.
Yeah, pick up your program guide, see what panels you want to see, see who's special guests that are there signing and celebrities and stuff. So that's my Fridays, usually recon, just kind of take my time, go through the pace, and then because I like to dress up by cosplay, on Saturdays when I dress up.
Right.
And that's most of the time I spend just wandering everywhere, no certain order, because I like to take pictures with people, and I get stopped every once in a while taking pictures.
Right.
And then Sunday is when I kind of finish up. If I didn't finish anything on Friday, finish that up.
Get your
along with
signatures.
along with the panels. But the last few hours is when I do my shopping, the big bulk of the shopping that I do.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the 3 day kind of plan that I set out.
So the first day, yeah, like you said, we were just wandering. Did you get anything in that first day?
I actually did, because I found something that I was looking for, and really cheap, that I've not seen at this price before. And even haggling before, I wasn't able to get it down this low.
What's that exactly?
Is these Funko Pops that we collect.
Correct.
And it's the Big Daddy from the BioShock video games. So
That's right, because last Kamikaze you were looking for that, right? Or Long Beach.
When we went to Long Beach, I was looking for that, and I found only one vendor that had it, and he wouldn't budge going below $20.
Yeah.
Even that Sunday that we went, the last hour, he wouldn't budge. So I was like, okay, I can pass and wait for another time. And I found it. Just wandering, I saw this random seller, way at the back, more of a... he didn't have a booth to sell stuff. He was maybe a card dealer, one of those game cards, like a Yu-Gi-Oh kind of stuff.
Oh, okay.
And he just had a few Funko Pops right behind him, and he had that Big Daddy. And I just asked him the price on it, thinking it was going to be 20. He said $12. I was like, my wallet did not come out fast enough, so I'll take it right now. So I took it on the spot, because
well, you know what? You know what though? Good on him. Good on that seller.
Yeah.
Good on him, man.
Because regular Funko Pops are $10, and this larger size one, an extra $2.
It's the
deal.
Even the large ones are $10, I think, aren't they?
Not that I've seen. Most of the large ones I've seen are 20 or more.
For regular price?
Yeah.
So he sold it less than it would normally go, because that was a GameStop thing, and I think GameStop sells them for $10.
Not the Big Daddy, because this is almost like your Hulkbuster one.
So the Big Daddy regular price is $20.
$20.
So you wanted to pay under MSRP?
Like swap meet style, haggling for prices. They usually do that, these vendors, to get rid of, just to make some bucks. But yeah, so that was my Friday purchase, along with the convention T-shirts, because I made the mistake last year of waiting till Sunday, and they sold out.
You bought a convention
of the WonderCon T-shirts. So this year I wasn't gonna make that mistake. So Friday I did buy my WonderCon T-shirt.
You're into those? You're in one of those too? You're into convention shirts?
Yeah, I have from the last 3-4 years, other than last year that sold out. I have going back 3 years, 4 years.
Really?
The actual WonderCon T-shirts, especially because WonderCon seems to be a very DC heavy convention.
Well, I mean, look at the name.
Yeah, Wonder.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman. She was 2 years ago. Last year was Batgirl. 3 years ago was Superman for the 75th anniversary.
And this time it was
year
everybody.
they had the Batman v Superman gang on there.
Yeah.
So
I can't get into convention shirts. It's like for me, it's like buying a concert shirt. That
I
list
have tons of concert
that
t-shirts.
lists all the cities they're touring.
That
and
was
like,
my thing. That was I
I'm
would
like,
go to like
why do you want to
concerts.
be a billboard?
That was my thing. I have tons of them that I don't even wear because I used to buy large for some reason.
It's all in my head
And
right
they're
here.
super baggy.
It's all in the memories.
I still have the memories too, but I like having that collectible. It's a collectible.
A wearable collectible.
Yeah.
All right, and yeah. So first day for me, I just took the family around. We sat in a panel. We got to learn about making props, or like over giant size weapons, which is
Nice.
amazing. That I think we're gonna try to put to use this year.
And that was the Harley hammer the
Mhm.
Harley Quinn hammer.
Besides that, just walked around enjoying the site, seeing who was there, seeing if there anything in particular we liked, and that's pretty much it. It was just reconning. I saw who's gonna be signing tomorrow / Saturday,
Saturday.
and I was writing down notes and who I wanted, what panels if were available I wanted to see, anything like that. So first day, just like you, just recon. I didn't purchase anything the first day. Just walking around, feet were killing me.
That's one thing about conventions, you guys. Comfortable shoes is the key to surviving.
Oh yeah,
You need comfortable shoes
you do.
because you're on your feet.
No
walking
chucks. I
all
say
day.
no to chucks.
Oh no. You need
Buy running shoes that are meant for cross country.
Yeah, because you need that support. You need that
Mhm.
arch support. You need the padding. You need comfort for conventions.
Deodorant. We should do a little special on con survival.
Con survival.
We'll do that once we get video. We'll come up with stuff and show it.
Yeah,
That'd be
because I
cool.
do that. I pack my pockets with
Mhm.
protein bars, and yeah, the comfy shoes. I have gum.
Deodorant.
I don't actually take deodorant. I go heavy on deodorant before going.
God,
But
if
I
you
should've
ever
taken
do
it.
Comic-Con, man.
I should have taken it on. Are you talking to hand out to other people or
Yeah,
for yourself?
other people, man.
Yeah, that's a good idea. You take deodorant, but for other people. Because I'm not that. I'm hygienic,
Mm-hmm.
so I've never been told I smell or anything. So, but Saturday I could have used it because being in costume was brutal.
Okay, so now Saturday comes, and Saturday's my day.
Well, actually, I want to go through my Friday.
Oh, okay, go for
I
it.
sat through, or not sat through. I like going to these panels, and I went to the DCL Access panel. I took notes. Actually, I have notes on the DCL Access panel, stuff that was talked about and gone over. Let's see, DCL Access panel. So it was a lot. It was like it was an hour-long panel.
Mhm.
So they started off with like the big news was the Batman v Superman release that weekend. So they showed the trailer. They showed the Suicide Squad trailer. Then we had some artists on the panel. So
Okay.
artist to Constantine was there. Ming Doyle.
Ming Doyle, yeah.
Ming Doyle, co-writer for a couple DC titles. James Tynion IV was there. We actually met him at Long Beach. Super cool guy, and got some autograph this time around. The artist, Jason Fabok,
Mm-hmm.
he was there. He actually designed that main WonderCon T-shirt and like cover for the program. Black Canary artist Annie Wu, she was there. She's super cool. I love her artwork. Like I'd seen stuff about Black Canary, but
Yeah.
seeing her and more into Black Canary, I love her artwork. And them talking about the Black Canary story made me really want to get into
Mhm.
picking up that trade. And actually, about the Black Canary too. Do you know the current run of it? What her deal is?
No,
she's,
but I've seen her work because I was actually collecting
But the-
Hawkeye when she
But
was
the character though,
doing the run.
Black Canary.
Oh, how she's screaming! She used to be an assassin.
In this new take of it, she's actually like a punk rock lead singer to this punk rock band. So that's the story of Black Canary, along with her powers and stuff. But her main thing is she's
She hits the
a
high
musician.
notes.
And they actually have on blackcanarymusic.com, they're releasing an album of what Black Canary and her band would sound like.
Oh
and
my
stuff.
god!
So I'm really interested in that. So
Really?
that added to this. So that's really cool. I'm going to check that out.
Sounds
JT Kroll was there.
cheesy for me. Yeah.
One of your favorite guys. He's writing for Bloodlines. Do you know this?
Mm-hmm.
They're redoing, not redoing, but they're starting Bloodlines.
Mm-hmm.
Bloodlines #1, April 6th. And his take on it, he was talking about it as an alien body snatchers with powers kind of thing. So where this like event happens in Earth and these people just get powers. And it's either some of them become heroes, some of them don't want to deal with these powers, don't want them, some of them become villains. So he says it's going to be very John Carpenter, like The Thing.
Wow.
Kind of thing. So it's going to be a very
Dark.
dark, horror type of comic. So that got me interested. I want to check out Bloodlines. And then we moved into the DC TV stuff. Like they showed iZombie trailers,
Powers.
Preacher, the Preacher trailer, which I actually saw at the Preacher panel later that night, like the full series premiere. Lucifer, and they talked about Lucifer comic a little bit, and they went into like some Vertigo stuff, talking about these titles. Unfollow is like a horror comic. Most of these Vertigo are
more adult
maybe
theme.
horror type of.
Well, that's what
stuff.
Vertigo was more dark
More
thing.
of the dark theme stuff. Talk about a comic called Clean Room, Dark and Bloody, which I just started reading. Sheriff of Babylon, another title, which is
That's
cool
with Mitch.
because the writer of that, Tim, or is it Mitch?
Oh, the writer. No. Mitch is the
writer's
artist.
Tim, I
He-
forget his last name.
You talking about Tom King?
I think so.
Tom
King.
King.
Tim King, something like that.
Tom King.
Yeah, he was there. And I didn't know anything about this. So the Sheriff of Babylon that he writes, he was a former CIA agent back in Baghdad. This comic talks from actual experiences he went through in the invasion of Baghdad back in 2004. Like a lot of the stuff has to be cleared through the CIA, like his stories.
Yeah, I remember he was saying that he has to take, because I was at their panel too for a little bit, All Access.
Yeah, you were there?
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't.
where they were saying that once they're done writing the story, that the CIA doesn't care how bad you talk about them, just as long as some vital information doesn't get
Yeah,
through.
certain names or certain
Yeah.
like objectives of like the missions and stuff doesn't get through. So you sat through there. Did you see the Paul Dini story of the Dark Knight, a true Batman story?
No, I walked out after Tom.
Just after the Sheriff of Babylon thing. Just after that, they talked about this new title coming out called Dark Knight, a true Batman story, written by Paul Dini. It's actually based on a true experience he had about getting mugged, and attacked.
2 guys, right?
Yeah, and he kind of like creates a story of like, what if there was this type of hero that came, during his situation, that being the Batman. So Paul Dini, a classic, DC name, especially from the animated series. So I'm really looking forward to that one. I want to check that out. And they had this the Lego artist Nathan Sawaya. He's this huge famous artist that does these big giant pieces with Legos. Did you see that Bat Signal Lego that they had at the DC booth? He built that. He built like a Batmobile. Says it took about 1 million Lego bricks building a Batmobile. The Bat Signal that was there took 5 weeks to build and 75,000 bricks.
Jeez.
So like he has this like traveling kind of event with these Lego pieces that he does.
Right.
So his art exhibit that travels the country. And then they talked about what would happen the next day of the DC Rebirth panel, which I actually ended up attending too, which is really, really cool, especially being a DC fanboy.
I'm waiting on that.
So that was one panel that I attended on Friday. Did my little recon and shopping and stuff. And then the second panel I did was at the end of the night. They had the Preacher series premiere, the screening and a panel.
Right.
So that one actually started because I text you like when I went home was about 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
So that was a late. They started
Because it was supposed to be at 7.
This panel was at 8.
Oh, it was supposed to be at 8?
It was supposed to be at 8, but it started about 45 minutes late.
Why?
Because getting people in, because this was a big panel, bigger than I expected. There's such a huge line for it. So like getting everybody in, getting every seat filled took a while. And then they started the pilot for Preacher. So we got to see that commercial free, the whole 45, 50 minutes of it. I was blown away. I loved it.
Yeah.
It was really good. And this not having read the Preacher either. I have volume 1, but I
Who's going to show this?
This is AMC.
So AMC is going to be showing this.
This is going to be on AMC. Yeah.
So it's going to be toned down quite a bit.
I guess quite a bit. Basically just like the F words. There is some like, it is graphic as far as the violence and the gruesomeness of it. And at the same time, it's a very dark comedy. This pilot was. I don't know the source material that well.
Mhm.
I know it's a dark story from what I hear and pretty graphic, but this show, it had a lot of laughs. It was really dark. I really liked it overall.
Yeah,
So
I mean, I've
I
read it.
recommend, yeah.
I've read it. So it is extremely dark. It has dark humor. It's not your funny haha, but your funny heh.
It's funny. It's like funny. Whoa.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
So the premise is a preacher questions his belief.
Is there some sort of alien kind of thing in this?
A vampire.
Okay, the characters in there. There was the vampire. There's the preacher, the main character, and his, I guess, some sort of previous
Girlfriend.
love or.
Mm-hmm. Ex-girlfriend that he's trying to get back
Which-
with.
By the way, the actress who plays this role was fantastic. She was awesome.
Really?
She was the standout of the show for me. Like I've never seen this actress before.
Uh-huh.
Her name is Ruth Nega. She came out on the panel too.
Okay.
I'd never seen her before. But she was like the standout of the show for me. Her and the vampire character. That guy was awesome. He was
Yeah?
hilarious.
So
He's-
and Howard Stark's gonna be the preacher.
Dominic Cooper plays Preacher. He's previously was Howard Stark in the Marvel movies.
Yep.
But yeah, there's a lot of stuff in the show because it starts out with some sort of. It starts out in outer space. Like there's something like flying around outer space, bouncing off of planets, and it makes its way to Earth. And kind of like the first scene is like in this like African desert or third world country. Like there's this church, and this scene with this preacher's like preaching, and this thing from outer space busts into the church and kind of possesses the preacher. And he wakes up and he comes like the congregation. Everybody's like, "Are you okay? What's going on? What's going on?" And the preacher's like, "I have been the chosen. I am the chosen one." And he explodes. So it's just blood and guts everywhere, all over everybody. And like that's how it starts with this big laugh. It's just like whoa, just like shocking moment. Is that anything?
God, I don't
Near
recall
the
that.
comic?
I mean, I remember the storyline. I don't remember that particular.
So that it started
See-
off that way, like the outer space, this thing coming to Earth. So that kind of threw me off. I was like, I thought this was a different type of story, not that funny. But overall, I really like it. I'm looking forward to it. And the panel was cool. Like Dominic was out there and Ruth talking about making the show and the development of it, especially the involvement of Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg,
Mm-hmm.
these comedy writers,
Yeah.
and how they're passionate about this work. And with the producer who was there on the panel
Seth
too said,
Rogen's writing the.
well, they're involved in the creation of it.
Okay.
Seth and Evan came up with the idea of making this. And they said they're going to stick to, this is going to be a Preacher TV show. We're not going to make Preacher light. We're not going to, whatever these 70 issues of the total story, this is what we want to put on screen.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, we talked about it before, and that was one concern you had about
Yeah.
Seth Rogen being involved.
Oh, that's right. That he's gonna Seth Rogen it up.
I don't know the tone of the comic, but the show, I don't think is Seth Rogen-y.
No, like
He
no
don't think
cheap
he's
jokes
writing
kinda
any of the
deal?
scripts,
Yeah.
but he was one of the creators of
Oh, okay.
producing this whole thing.
So it's going from comic pages to the TV essentially. All right, so that's cool. And that's your day one.
That was my day one.
And so I had a more active day two. You were more of a roaming day two then.
I was in costume, the Nightmare Batman.
Yeah. How was that?
That was a blast. It was again involved into the entire best weekend I've ever had. Being in costume was super cool, especially this Nightmare Batman that people more recognize than my previous
Yeah.
comic book 0-year Batman. And actually, even you mistook me for a professional cosplayer
Yeah.
in the pictures that are out there on
Yeah.
Instagram. So I think that's kind of overall it was super cool. Like very how can I put it was very much a compliment for you to mistake me for a professional cosplayer, for these cosplayers that I admire and that I follow to be impressed with with my costume and like want to take a picture with me was like that was a new feeling for
compliment.
me.
Yeah.
Very complimentary.
It was a really good cosplay. You guys should check him out on Instagram. It was pretty good.
Yeah, I'll throw the pictures up on our Twitter, on our Nerdy Syndicate Twitter, and again, our Instagrams are on this page. Follow us. You can see the pictures. That was a blast. At the end of the day, though, it, it took its toll.
Yeah, I think around 4 o'clock when I saw you, 3:30.
About 5:30. Because you were gonna do the panel at 7.
No, at
and it
4 o'clock, because I was still in line, and I was like, I was gonna get. That's when I was gonna get Zack Snyder, and you were like, because at 5:30 I was like, hey, there's a panel at 7. I'm gonna be in line at 5. It should end around 6ish, because the line was long.
Because I left just after 6. That's when I text you, I'm done. I can't hang anymore.
Yeah, so that's why I was like around 5. Let's say it was
Yeah.
5. I saw you, and you were just like, I'm gonna take a seat real quick, cause
No mas, man. I can't do no mas.
I'm done. So it took its toll wearing that cowl, and just.
I don't think it was the wearing of the cowl. It was the constant on and off.
Oh really?
It's just kind of like taking breaks because it got hot and I wanted to kind of just chill and like walk around and look at some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The constant on and off of it, I think, is what took its toll. Because this thing fits tight. It's this
Tight fit.
it's these cowls that you buy that are kind of like meant to be one size fits all. And like
Now everybody has the same head. Yeah.
depending on the size of your head, you know, it's gonna fit tight to some people. But it fits good on me. But it's just the getting on. It's because the neck part is the smaller part.
Mm-hmm.
But it fits perfect once it's on. Like I start out, I throw the baby powder in there to kind of like, you know,
Absorb.
soften it up so it's not just this sticky rubber.
Mm-hmm.
So that way I can get it on and off a little easier. But throughout the day, once I sweat that powder off and not having like a bandana or something, just the pulling of the skin, I even felt it in my jaw. It was like pulling so tight. But yeah, just at the end of the day, I was in so much pain. I nearly blacked out on the way to my truck in the parking garage. But it was worth it overall. Over the whole day, just the fun that I had, like talking to people and being in costume and talking about the costume, and it was worth whatever happened to me at the end of the day. But yeah, I left before the end of the day. I left around 6. So when I text you, I was like, I can't do this anymore. I gotta go. So
That's right.
I even knocked out in my truck for about 15 minutes. Like down like a bottle of water. I had a protein bar to try to just kind of stabilize again. But my head was killing me.
But it made a difference, all right. That nap, the power bar.
Just that nap. I was sitting in the truck in the garage with the AC on, blast on me. It's like, ooh, it was rough.
I had a more, just full day because I was getting signatures left and right, buying a couple of things. Got Zack Snyder to sign our card, our badge.
Yeah, that was something new this year. I don't know if you know it. Have you been to a Wondercon before?
No, that was my first Wondercon ever.
First Wondercon?
Yeah.
Yeah, the badge system that they had there in LA, that's something new. Because before it was just a plain paper badge with it said 3-day or 2-day, and you just show security as you walk in. But this new badge that we have to scan in now, that was something new.
Yeah, so.
And it was really cool because it's like a collector's card because it has the WonderCon logo with the artwork on it.
So I had the card signed. I had a couple of Batman Eternal signed. Batman, Futures and Batman as well, signed by Snyder, Fabak. I had James. I had Tim. So pretty much 4. Sorry for that background. No, Mija. So I almost had the whole complete comic signed by all the creators
Of the Eternal series?
of the Eternal series. And then I also had Ramirez. Not Ramirez. Ramirez Jr. Well, that was Sunday. Sorry.
John Romita Jr.?
Yeah. Who else did I have on Saturday? Ramos. I had Ramos sign one of my Batman 700 and first issue.
All
And
these you got at the convention, or did you have those like in your collection?
No, I already had those in my collection. The only one I ended up buying was $1 for Eternal.
Okay.
And it was from a guy who was waiting in line for Michael Bendis. I also got Bendis.
Oh, did you? You got Bendis?
Bendis. Yeah.
Nice. What did you get signed from him?
A bunch of Ultimate Comic Spider-Mans. Number 1, number 2. Ultimate End 1 and 2. A couple of Spider-Man stories. Regular Amazing Spider-Man stories. And, God, I know there's a couple more, but he signed. This guy is great, man. This guy will sign anything. He's one of those guys,
Bendis.
and he doesn't charge.
Oh yeah, that's one aspect. Is like some of these celebrities that show up, and what they charge to
Yep.
take a picture or sign with them. It's like,
It's
a
like,
little crazy.
yeah, Neil Adams, $30 for a signature.
I remember seeing him maybe 3-4 years ago, and he's been to every convention that I've been to, and not maybe until the last 2 years that I noticed he started charging. Because maybe the first time I saw him, you walk up to him, shake his hand, talk to him, you could have taken the picture because there was no signage or nothing saying so much for a signature or so much for a picture.
Mm-hmm.
So
Turns it's off-putting.
it
When-
is,
when- I
but
mean,
they
I
gotta make their
understand
money.
they gotta make their money, but how? This is how I was talking to another guy in line. They're commissioned to do work, right? To do art. Commissioned
for
by
convention art, yeah.
no.
or-
Say their professional job is artist, right? So Neil Adams is commissioned to do a run of Batman, correct?
Okay, yeah.
The DC in turn sells that, right? So depending on sales, he's commissioned more to do work, right? So that means his stuff sells well. He's a great writer and a great artist.
Yeah, he's one of the legendary names in comics.
Now-
Neil Adams,
Who is buying his work? We are.
the fans.
The fans. If we keep buying his stuff, it's because we like it. And for him to charge is like, it's us who put you the place to where you are at.
Yeah.
And at some point, they get disconnected. Like, let me milk you for everything you got. And it's off-putting. It really is. It's so off-putting.
It is.
It's if someone's telling you how I want you to draw something professionally, cool, no problem. I understand it. You gotta do you, boo boo. If someone tells you draw me something,
Yeah,
cool.
that's artist alley. Like the artist.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I understand
you
that.
Commission.
But it's signature. You're charging for your signature. That is so off-putting.
Yeah. That actually happened with Kevin Conroy, where 2 years ago, I stood in line for the wristband to get to meet him and get a signature and got a picture. The year after, he was then selling a signature and a picture. So you had to pay for that.
Nope.
So that was kind of like, Kevin, I love you, bro, but
No.
I didn't end up paying for that. It's like I stood in line for it, but then found out like, oh, he's charging now. I was like, oh, well, I met him last year, so I'm cool with it. But my buddy, the cosplay guy Daniel I go with, he hadn't met him before, so he paid the $40. Got up to him. It was $40 for a picture and signature. Oh, there's some that even charge even more than that. It's crazy. Like Michael Rooker from The Walking Dead, I think it was $80 for a signature.
Really?
Merle from Walking Dead. I've seen him a couple times. He walked by me, punched me on the shoulder, like, "Hey man, what's up?" Like walking by, I was like, "Hey Michael, cool." That's cool. I don't have to pay for that, I don't need a signature for that. Just having an interaction with him, that's cool
Yeah.
with me. But it was cool about Buddy. He paid for it, got up to the line, got his signature, and I was just standing off to the side of the line, and I was in costume too. We were both in Batman costumes, and in him getting the picture, he's like, "Can my buddy jump in?" So he's like, "Yeah, come on in." So I jumped in, got a picture with Kevin Conroy again, in costume this time. But yeah, the whole charging of it's kind of like I said, it's kind of a bit off-putting,
Mm-hmm.
especially since we're already supporting you in
And
every
that's what
other
I'm
way.
saying. And that's what I'm saying. It's not just because of fans. It's because we are paying for those runs,
Yeah, we're supporting you,
and we're supporting
everything else
your
you're
your
doing.
work, and they're giving you more projects because of us. So it's off-putting. And like I said, I was in line with someone talking about that,
Mhm.
and he goes, "Well, I have this Batman Eternal #1. I didn't get Facebook to sign it, so you can have it for $1. That's what I paid for it. Here's $1."
And that's cool, like having that free signing. It's like
Yeah.
you'll pay to buy stuff to have them sign, but
Mm-hmm.
it's like I don't want to pay for the signature.
Yep.
That's interesting. So that was what else you did that Saturday?
And just that's it. Was
Panels?
it.
Did you end up doing that?
Yes,
pa-
I
panel?
actually did prosthetics and cosplay,
Okay.
and it was pretty interesting. I mean, all I did was take notes on what they were requesting and stuff like that. But the best panel we did was the that I did was with my wife, is making the large weapons.
That was the Friday night. Yeah.
And once like I said, when I told you next paycheck, I'm gonna buy this with the paycheck that came. I'm gonna try to order a lens. Once that comes in, we should do like how you do your cosplay. Well, I think we'll have more fun recording on video
Making videos.
than it is to record on just audio.
Yeah.
Because you can be more expressive.
Even that we can show off our
Work and everything.
collectibles and
Yeah,
what
yeah.
we're doing and stuff we've bought and
Yeah. And that was pretty much my Saturday. I mean, I left early to go get some food, and that's pretty much it. And for the third and final day, I was already exhausted. I was done. All I needed was Ramirez Jr.'s signature and
That was early
Paulo
on, too.
Rivera, and
So
that was pretty much it.
luckily he was the first one on the schedule
Luckily,
to get
yeah.
sign-
Oh
do
yeah, and
signings.
I got a bunch of people from the Power Rangers. Forgot about that.
That's right, the
the
Boom Comics
line.
booth.
Yeah, but that's it. Just 3 signatures, and that was it for my. And you helped
For
me out with
Sunday.
that. Yeah. That
My
was it.
Saturday though was probably one of my favorites because starting off again, going to that DC Rebirth panel that
Yeah.
was first come first serve. No wristbands, nothing. Just get in line, first come first serve. Room's full, you're out of luck. So I show up 8:30 in the morning because the convention opened at 10. This
Mhm.
panel was at 9:30. I show up at 8:30. And that was early enough already because the night before I had that late screening of The Preacher, got home late and, barely got some sleep.
Mhm.
Got up, showered, put my costume on, bounced. So I got there 8:30, walked to the back of the line, super long, wrapped around the building outside the center. And the lady with that sign that says end of the line, like standing out there. I was like, what's our chances of getting in, being this far back? She's all like, honestly, like that second pillar that's just ahead of us, maybe 50 feet in front of me. It's like, that's probably the end of the line.
Oh man.
I was like, oh God. So like the end of the line still kept getting longer.
Jeez.
So like, okay, let's positive thinking. Well, we'll get in. It'll be fine. We'll get in. So like there was this lady in front of me. Her friends come up, like talk to her, and apparently they have some sort of press credentials or volunteer type of credentials. And this girl that was in line in front of me, in talking to her, I find out she's a writer for this website called Pop Topic.
Oh, okay.
POPTOPIQ.
Okay.
Guys, go check out the website. It's cool. It's all about this pop culture, comic, and movies and stuff.
Uh-huh.
So she was a writer. It was like her first time at this convention, and she's like, they told her, hey, go check out this DC, Rebirth panel and write about it. But she didn't have like a press pass to be able to get in. She just had her normal attendee pass. So like, so me and her were talking about like, oh, what are our chances? I don't know about our chances, but let's think positive. We got to get in. So the line starts moving. We make our way in, and then the line finally stops. Maybe 20 people ahead of us.
Oh.
We're like, oh no! Security comes out. Stop the line! Stop the line! So we're like, oh no! And then the guy says, count the chairs. Start counting the chairs and squeezing people in. It's like, oh, there might still be a chance.
Yeah.
And slowly start letting groups in. Okay, 3 here, 4 here. Oh, a family of 2. Okay, 5, 3, 4. And we were able to get in, and maybe 5 more behind us, and that was it. So I was able to get in, and we get lit in to what ends up being reserved seating, and I end up sitting second row.
Almost one of the best seats in the house.
Probably the best seat, because sitting in front of me was like the host to DC All Access on the YouTube channel. The president of DC was like 2 seats to my right in front of me. And then I'm like so close to the stage.
The president of DC, isn't it? She's a female, right?
She's a female, yeah. The president of DC was sitting right there next to me. And I was like in costume too. I didn't have my mask on, but I had my eyes painted out. So I was like, I look probably weird to these people sitting up front and like had reserved seating on my seat and stuff.
Like, that's right, guys. I'm important.
So that was cool. And the panel started and it went through, and this was all live streamed too on the DC YouTube channel and All Access. And so this is probably still up online if you guys want to check it out. Any more information on the DC Rebirth that's going to happen. A lot of good information, especially if you're a DC fanboy like me. There's a lot of cool stuff. Like, I'm interested in more of these DC titles, like reading more Superman, reading Suicide Squad, and getting into the Wonder Womans and Green Lanterns. Because all this information that was being thrown at us was like super cool. And they showed images of artwork, upcoming artwork and panels and stuff. And the most exciting moment for me, because they started out bringing like the Bat family out.
Right.
If Dan DiDio came out, Jim Lee came out, Jeff Johns, these 3 top dogs at DC, writers, artists. They're kind of like running DC. And then they introduced the panel of the Bat family, which is the writers and artists for the Batman books, including Batgirl and stuff like that. They're talking about their new stuff coming out, and because Scott Snyder's leaving, the Batman title, what's his name again? Tim Seeley?
Yeah.
Tim Seeley. He's taken over for the Batman thing. It's like, okay, so that's cool. So this is a CIA guy, and he's talking about what he's going to wants to do with the Batman stories. It's like, okay, like, I felt some comfort in, like, okay, Batman's in good hands.
Yeah.
Because Scott Snyder was, like, ended up being one of my favorite writers of it. And then there's 2 empty chairs.
Now, is he leaving to focus more on the movies world? Because I mean, they just
Snyder?
started. Yeah.
No, he's not going to take part of this movie world. But again, there was 2 empty seats in this panel.
Mm-hmm.
So they kind of, going back to talking about Tim Seeley taking over the Batman, it's like, you guys are probably wondering where Scott Snyder's going. Well, he's going to still stick around with DC, and he's going to keep writing for us. And we'd like to announce that he's going to be exclusive to DC. So I was like, so excited that he's sticking around with DC.
Snyder?
Because even his Vertigo stuff he does with American Vampire and Witches and The Wake, I love.
So Marvel must have been trying to court him over if they're announcing something like that, you know?
I don't know, because he's been with DC for a while. For the last, what is New 52 been around 3 years? 4
Yeah,
years?
but remember they're all
They can all
they're all
bounce back and
freelancers,
forth.
you know.
So they got him exclusively for DC, and that just that blew my mind.
So that
I
means
was
there's a
excited.
contract. There's a contract that you can't leave if there's exclusivity.
Yeah, he's exclusive to DC, writing only DC stuff and titles and working for them. And they bring him on stage along with John Romita Jr. And they're going to be working on All-Star Batman
Superman
together.
or Batman.
Batman.
Oh, Batman.
So
Really?
he's sticking with Batman, and they brought him on stage, which blew my mind.
Because
I was
Romita was
wow.
only been working on Superman,
He just did a run of Superman.
and now also Romita's gonna be working on, or it's already done, but it'll be coming out this next month. It's that prequel to
Which you just
Dark Knight
told me about. I didn't have no
Returns.
idea about it. With Frank Miller.
yeah.
So I'm excited for that. I'm still reading that Dark Knight 3 that's going on, which is really cool. But yeah, again, bringing Scott Snyder, I was like, wow, he's here. That's so cool. It's like, I never thought I'd get a chance to see him. He was at a convention 1 or 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get a chance to get a wristband or to see him. And by that time, more of the stuff that's come out, I've become bigger and bigger fan of his work. And to see him out on stage, I was like flipping out, like, oh my God, Scott Snyder, my hero's here. And he's talking about he's still sticking around with Batman and writing more of the villains that he hasn't got a chance to run on this 50 issues of Batman that he just did. And working with John Romita Jr., who's like a legend in the comic business,
Yep.
and legendary artist.
Alongside his dad, Senior.
I know, what a lineage. With Marvel and DC and all these other stuff, like Daredevil that he did.
Oh yeah, with Frank Miller.
Yeah, that Man Without Fear.
Yeah, I mean, Romita Jr. honestly has worked with who's who,
Just the legends. These guys are literally legends in this comic business.
and he's working again with Frank Miller again. Oh, that's awesome.
So that was cool. And then they brought out the crew working with the Superman stuff, and then crew working with Justice League, and all this information. Everybody in that panel was all the fans that were in there were blown away. You see these images that they brought up of new artwork and new characters that they're bringing. People were gasping and cheering. And,
Right.
It was exciting. It was super cool for a DC fanboy. One of the things they talked about was how they want to kind of streamline. They're bringing it down to, I think, 17 to 20 titles now, and they're each going to be bi-monthly. So each title will have 2 issues a month.
Instead of
1 a month. It's been for as long as I've known. And they're dropping the price, from doing stuff for the fans. We're going to save you $1. It's going from $3.99 to $2.99. So that's super cool. But still, they're giving you 2 issues a month. You're still spending
$6. Yeah, they're just going wink, wink, looking out for you.
That was a blast to be able to get into that panel. And then at the end, they gave everybody a lithograph of new images of the artwork of the characters. So just my day just started off amazing.
I forgot to say too, on Friday, which happened to you on Saturday, I won a statue of Rocket Raccoon, $20 plus statue.
How did you win that?
My daughter entered. It's one of those, exhibitors had a Easter egg
That
hunt.
was Golden Apple Comics, right?
Yeah.
They're an LA comic book shop.
Is it?
Hollywood, yeah.
So they had a Easter egg thing where you just for $1 you can look, or you can choose one Easter egg from buckets and buckets of them, and they'll all have some type of prize. So I gave my daughter $2 because she's all about the Easter egg. So at first she grabbed the first egg she saw, and then she didn't open it yet. And the second one I was like, no, you gotta dig in. So she dug in, right?
So you had her put that one back and dig.
Yeah. So the first one was candy and a free comic book. The second one was a grand prize, and it was that Rocket Raccoon statue.
That was the grand prize, the big one?
Yeah. Well, I mean, one of the grand prizes, yeah.
Wow.
Because I know they had a Joker bust, too.
Oh, that would have been cool.
So I was like, cool, and they took a picture and everything. So I got to Google it up, see if they have a website or something, or Instagram because they took a picture of us.
Oh, Golden Apple.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'll check that out. Well, if we find it, we can put it up. Also, I haven't even got a chance to see it over here.
So
So
so that was pretty much it, and I'll go look for it while you talk about yours. How did you get a statue as well?
yeah, I ended up winning something on Saturday too. Later on in the day, I attended a DC collectibles panel where some artists and a sculptor came out, did this panel talking about the new line of DC collectibles and statues that they're going to be releasing. And throughout that, they announced like, oh, we're going to be giving out prizes. Just do little trivia questions, and you get the right answer, you win a prize. So they go through and showing us some of the new collectibles, the Batman v Superman line, a lot of like the animated series stuff coming out.
Yeah.
And like the games they played is basically with the panelists. That's awesome. You just brought out the Rocket Raccoon statue that you won.
It's by Movie Master or Hot Toys. Ooh, Hot Toys.
It's a Hot Toys?
Yeah.
Those
are
are
the live
awesome.
action moving ones, aren't they? The Hot Toys?
I'm not sure if they're the articulated ones, but those are like probably the best as far as like the statue lines. The most like detailed and just finely made statues. I'll take a picture of this and throw it up on the Twitter. That's awesome. It comes the stand, Rocket Raccoon, his big old gun. What is it? Some grenades?
Yeah,
Oh,
Hot
no,
Toys Limited.
Oh no, it's like interchangeable like hands and feet on here too. Wow, that's awesome. Yeah, I'll take a picture of this and we'll put it up on our Twitter. Yeah, throw it on your Instagram too, man.
Mm-hmm.
So anyways, they played games with the panelists. Like one of them was which one's telling the truth. So they would each tell us a story about this line that almost made it, like this line of statues that almost made it to release. And like people would raise their hands, the panel host would choose, and they'd guess, oh, I guess so and so is lying, or so and so is telling the truth. No, the one that I went on, they were asking about, okay, tell us a story about your dream gift that you've always wanted but never got it as a kid, like a Christmas gift. So the panelists went through and did their thing, and the first person raised their hand. He chose them. They got it wrong, and I raised my hand, and because I was in costume too, the panelist, I'd met him before at the Long Beach convention, and I sat behind him at the DC panel earlier, and like he noticed I was in costume. Oh, cool, Nightmare Batman.
Mm-hmm.
So once he saw me, like my gauntlet go up and me in costume, he's
Right.
like, oh, Nightmare Batman over there.
Yeah.
You, what's the answer? And I guessed the answer right, and I won the
Wait,
prize.
so they asked a different question or the same question?
It's a different question. It
Oh,
was
okay.
it was like 4 or 5 different
What was the
prizes I
question
gave
for
out.
you? What was the winning
Mine was
question?
that one of like your dream gift as a kid that you never got.
And what do you say?
And one of the panelists said like I don't remember one, but the one that I won was I think the artist for the Harley Quinn magazine. She said she wanted some sort of click clacks, this thing called click clacks as a kid, and she never got them. So I was like, I'll take a guess at click clacks. You're actually right. So she was lying about it. She actually did get the click clacks. That was the whole thing. But the answer was, I got the answer right.
You said no, that's false.
I said hers was false. It didn't really matter about the question or the trivia, whatever. I won.
Yeah.
So I went up there. He handed me it was like the Batman black and white statue. Those things are valued like at $75, $80.
Mm-hmm.
It was really cool. It's like, he looks gnarly. I'll take a pic. I got a picture of that. I'll throw it up on our Twitter, and you guys can check that out. So that was cool. Like I was excited. I texted you the picture. Check out what I won.
Mm-hmm.
So that was that panel I won that in. And throughout the rest of the day, just walking around, taking pictures with people, and like having like previous people that I've met before that are in cosplay. I got pictures with them and
Right.
hung out with them, talked to them for a bit.
Right.
It was, man, Saturday was just a blast for me. It was amazing.
Yeah, like I
think
said, my
those are-
Sunday was just that signatures. What did you do Sunday?
Yeah, so the rest of the day Saturday, no more panels or nothing. No more shopping because I was in costume. I'm not gonna.
No, I mean, like I said, when you were done, you were done.
Yeah, I mean carrying like again because I won that statue is in the box. Like carrying it around for a bit. It's like I got to take this back to the truck. So I walked back, put my stuff away, and that bag that I was carrying too, put that away.
That weighs nothing when you start. But
Oh,
at the end of the day, it's like 100.
my shoulder was
2
sore.
pounds,
I was being weighed down by,
Nothing.
like, all
At the end of
free
the day,
comics and
100
stuff.
pounds. You're like,
All the free goodies and pins and posters. Yeah, so that by the end of the day, I was like exhausted on that and took off early. But Sunday I went no costume, just casual, just 'cause that's my day to finish off the convention, any panels, and do shopping. Let's see. I don't think I did a panel on Sunday.
I don't remember you saying anything about panels.
There were two that I wanted to go to. They had the Nerdist panel and the DC Legends of Tomorrow, but that was at the Microsoft Theater.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing about the convention at LA this year. Like their big
Their theaters are not connected.
No, it was like across the street, 2 blocks over to the, was it Nokia or Microsoft
Mhm.
Theater, whatever.
It's by LA Live.
Yeah. So it was a trek to get to that big convention hall. Would have been cool, but
At Anaheim, is it all connected?
at Anaheim, it's the big floor, and then just outside, it is a bit just to walk outside to their big theater. But it's
And I believe they said it's coming back to Anaheim next year.
Oh yeah, it's in the program. Like the last page of the program, it says join us next year for Anaheim, March. It already has a date, March 31st or April 2nd.
Yeah.
So it was just in LA this year because they're doing construction over at Anaheim. So Sunday was because Scott Snyder was gonna be there. So you showed up 8 o'clock. I got there 8:30. Met you in line. They opened up the convention floor at 9:30. We all had our brisk walk because we can't run on the floor.
That's right, because I went for the Funko Pops on Sunday.
Yeah, you got your Funko Pops the first thing.
Yeah. Luckily you used me as a stand-in. Cut in a huge line in front of me, and then we just went in.
Because you show up 8 o'clock. I was just like a little bit after 8:30. Found you right in front, maybe
But
second
you
row.
saw how much of a difference that would have made.
Oh yeah, huge difference. Because a ton of people ran straight to the not ran because
You're not supposed to.
We're not supposed to run. It's over the PA. Don't run.
But
walk
zigzag
here,
to that
whatever.
area.
So we all sped walk, our little speed
Mhm.
walk to the. You went straight to the Funko booth. I went over to DC. Got a good spot in line. I was maybe like 30 people deep.
Yep, and all that is shimmy inside next to you.
Yeah, and then you got your Funkos, came over, got in line for your wrist badge.
Which I don't think affected anybody because I don't know not many people. Everybody was Z lining it too. Snyder.
Yeah, I think everybody that wanted to get a wristband got a wristband for either artist they wanted
Mhm.
to. Because like throughout the day, it was like 5, 6
Yeah,
different big
and
artists.
honestly, I
that
think best day to get signatures without big crowd. I'm not saying we'll get everybody Sunday.
Sunday, and that's if you're lucky if they show up Sunday too.
Mhm.
Because Saturday is just the huge day because everybody's there in costume, the big costume day,
Mhm.
the masquerades, the families, and just the big day for
Yeah, because Friday
conventions.
people are still working and everything, So
It was actually still a busy Friday from my experiences going like
Right.
on Fridays. It was like a big crowd for Friday.
really,
So Sunday came about, got our wristband. You did your signing. John Romita Jr. got some pictures of that. That was cool how you asked him to, like a lot of the artists that you got
I
signed.
forgot about that. So what I was doing this time around, I was having a lot of artists and writers do specific things. For the artists, I was having them do any sketch they wanted, left-handed or with their non-dominant hand.
Yeah, that
Just
was
so I wasn't looking for anything fancy, just something that's for me.
just something unique.
Yeah, so I had artists doing it with their left hand and like telling me that they've never had this request done before.
That's cool.
I've
That's a
had-
really good idea.
And writers were doing it, and writers were like, nobody's ever told me to do an art. I suck at it. I was like, I don't care. It's not. This is for me. This is for And I told was like, I wasn't a dick about it. It's like you have to do. It's like, hey, there's no worries, man. What if you don't want it, you don't want it. And that's the worst thing. You don't want to be a pushy fan.
Yeah.
And you saw me how I asked him. I wasn't a dick about it or anything like that. And Jim Lee said he's never had anybody ever say that, ask him to do that before, and he took a picture of it as
draw
well.
left-handed?
You were there when he took a picture of it.
I was there for not for
Not
your
Jimmy?
not for your Saturday. I was there for just Romita.
Oh, that's
when you were
right. That's
doing your
right.
signing.
And then Romita said in his 40 years
It
doing
is-
cons, he's never had anybody do that. And he drew the Superman as best as he could, left-handed.
Left-handed. That was funny.
So I mean, it was just funny, no big deal, but it was cool.
Yeah, it was really cool. It was a really unique like question or like it was fun. It was cool how they all had fun with it.
Yeah, like every single one that I asked, and the one you didn't get to see, I wish you would have. It was the full panel. It was James, it was Tom, Tim, and it was Mitch,
Uh-huh.
and all of them were just laughing like they've never done this before. It was the first time, and they were just laughing at each other.
That would have been awesome. to see.
As a matter of fact, James, I hadn't asked him yet.
Tinian,
Uh,
James Tinian,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ivy. James
The fourth.
Tenzin Ivy.
the fourth.
Ivy. It sounds cooler that way.
Eve.
He was doing somebody else's signing somebody else's work.
Okay.
And when I told Tim and Tom and Mitch to do it. He's like, I want to get in this, you know.
Oh, that's
So I
cool.
tossed it him, and I was like, oh, that's cool. So it was cool, man.
That's real cool. Yeah, because that was fun seeing just Romita like tripping out, drawing the S in left-handed.
Yeah.
It's like, man, in 40 years, nobody's ever asked me to do
Yeah.
that. It's like, oh, that's awesome how they, a unique experience even for these writers and artists.
Mhm.
That was awesome, man. Good job on that.
And that's pretty much it. I mean, honestly, it was a great day. I like WonderCon. It wasn't too bad. I'll return.
That's probably been my favorite con throughout the years, the last 4 or 5 years that I've
Mhm.
gone, WonderCon, because it's a Comic-Con subsidiary, like the big Mamma Jamma San Diego
Mhm.
Comic-Con. It's the LA version, so it's not as big because all the huge movie studios aren't there selling their wares and TV, but there's a presence. But it's big, but at the same time it's still pretty low key.
Mhm.
I love WonderCon. And continuing with my Sunday, just standing in line, waiting for Snyder. Somebody like hit me up, hey man, I didn't get a wristband. Can you get something signed for me? So like I threw something in because there was no actual talk about limit of how much people could sign.
That's right, because like you said, it wasn't a big line. Because Saturday it was huge.
Sunday
and they were
was,
like,
it was decent. It was a good size. But it went through pretty quick, and then I finally got my turn with him, and it was one of my favorite moments, man. I got to shook his hand, said thank you for your work, man. I'm a huge fan, because I brought my American Vampire, my Superman Unchained, my Batman,
all his
Witches
different
and
works.
Awake, and then even same thing like that idea you had of signing the badge. I had him sign my little badge, and I started. Oh, and he noticed because he noticed my tattoo. He's like, "What do you got there on your arm?" He pointed to my arm.
Right.
And it's like I just showed him, oh, my Batmobile. Oh, wait. And I pulled up the sleeve to where I have the Batman, and it's a Greg Capullo Batman where he's been working on. He's been working with Greg Capullo drawing these Batmans. And he's, oh, man, that's so cool. It's like he was impressed. And the inker was there. Danny Mickey was next to him.
Mhm.
He's like, hey, Danny, take a look at this. Pointed out my tattoos. Like, oh, man, that's so cool. Like, he asked me if I ever met Greg Capullo. It's like, no, I haven't had the pleasure. We started talking. Oh, he's a cool guy, man. He's a cool guy. And he started signing. I was like, thank you for everything you do, man. It's like American Vampire is one of my favorites, which I recommend to you guys. Anybody listening, to you, Carlos,
Yeah.
American Vampire is brilliant, dude. It's so awesome. It's a dark vampire story, like very original take on this vampire lore. And like I told him, I mentioned one of the characters in the comic, his
Yeah.
name Pearl, like the female lead. I told him like Pearl is one of my favorite characters of all time. And he's like, oh, man, thank you. Honestly, she's one of my favorite characters to write for. And then we just started talking about the character and her development and stuff she's done. And then at one point in the story, she does something that, like, kind of heartbreaking. It's like I told him, I can't believe you made her do that. He's like, yeah, I know. I didn't want to do that, but, like, for story purposes. And, like, we got into it. It was just cool having this chat with Scott Snyder. And it was, like, one of my favorite moments of all time. So like got some pictures of him, moved on Danny Mickey and the inker, like he inks for the Batman comics, and then I'd met him.
That
at
guy's
Kamikaze
really
the year
cool,
before.
man. That guy
super nice guy.
He's one of the guys that always walks around the con
I
with
met
his
him the year
family.
before. He was super dude, super nice guy. And then James Tinian was there too. I went around, had him sign my badge too. It's like because I'd met him at the Long Beach before too. And
James
like, talked to him.
IB.
So hey man, I had the pleasure of meeting you at Long Beach. Looking forward to what he's gonna be writing the new Detective Comics, continuing with that.
Mm-hmm. The team one.
Yeah, because it's teaming up with Tim Drake and Batwoman
Clayface.
and even Clayface in the team. So I'm excited about that. Got to talk to him. So it was just awesome day. After that, getting the signatures, just going around taking pictures of all the props and toys and looking for comics that I wanted to get, looking for Funko Pops. And there's this one cosplayer. Like there's tons of cosplayers that I have crushes on. And like getting a chance to like talk to them, it's gotta be cool and like it's really cool.
Palms are
Like,
sweaty.
yeah,
Threw up mom's spaghetti.
nerve wracking, but
Yeah.
once they're like super nice and like their response is like, then I get comfortable and
Right,
talking
right.
with them. And I had a blast, man. It was one of my favorite weekends of all time.
All right. Well, like I said, next con should be what?
Next one, what's lucky for us at least here, LA area, we have 4, 5 to 6 conventions.
Yep.
We have 2 in Long Beach a year. We have Wondercon.
It's always beginning and towards the end, right? Like January and August or something like that.
I think the first one's February,
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 August.
Yeah. February to
October.
October.
October, because it's Halloween.
Yeah.
Think about
Kamikaze is usually the last one.
Kamikaze.
So we have 2 in Long Beach a year. We have WonderCon, which is normally in Anaheim, which was just in LA.
San Diego.
San Diego is the big one. If you're lucky enough to get tickets, that's a good one. Then we have Kamikaze, and then just like all these little upstarts now that are starting. Like Palm Springs is starting one.
Mm-hmm.
You just watched a video on what was it?
Stanley inviting everyone.
But what was the one you just saw? San something or other? San Clemente?
No, that was for Free Comic Book Day.
Oh, is that what that for?
Yeah, what you said is you just saw. Didn't you just get a ring for something about a new Comic-Con, new con?
Yeah, seeing advertisements at WonderCon. There's a new one in Escondido. It's called NerdCon.
Yeah.
And then Palm Springs is going to have their first annual one too. So we have lucky enough to have like a bunch around us.
And it's always good to hit them up because you'll see artists, you see people, guests all the time. I mean,
Even
last time me and you hit up the Long Beach, it was just a Long Beach Comic Con. Remember?
Yeah, they have 2 a year. One's called an expo, one's Comic Con.
Yeah, the expo. It was the expo. Because the con is early in the year.
Con's later.
Or is it later?
We just went to expo. Con is in September.
Oh, okay. Con, that's where we saw one of the guitars for Marilyn Manson?
Oh, Twiggy?
Yeah.
The bass player Twiggy.
Yeah.
We saw him.
So
Yeah, we see
it's
random bunch of
it's just random people. Yeah.
Like I've met the bass player to Metallica at Kamikaze last year, and I met a comedian just at WonderCon, and it was so many. Just even being broke from this weekend, I still just enough to have for a ticket and parking and food just to go and be there is. I love going to these, even if I'm not going to buy anything. Just being there around, and then talking to like a lot of the artists. Now our buddy Richard, who's doing
Our logo.
Our logo. I go to his booth all the time. We sit there, we chat about what we've been up to and all the new stuff coming out, and just having these interactions.
Which hopefully in a month now we'll have it.
He's gonna start working on it now that WonderCon's over because he was so jam packed with commissions, and even he was busier than expected at the convention.
Oh, was
so
he?
He said, now that I'm done with this, I'm gonna start working.
A lot of people hit him up for commissions, or what?
Commissions, and then selling his stuff, and then he was like behind on. I commissioned him to do a blank cover one. He was behind on that too. So
what cover?
The Dark Knight 3, because I love this. Because he mainly does like little the kid caricatures of the heroes, and he does some adult pieces. Like he did a Frank Miller version of a Batman that I love. I bought that print, and I want him to do that style for the blank cover commission.
So how much does that set you back?
That was like $50?
That's not bad. Not bad at all.
Yeah, and I think he even gave me a deal on that too, so it might be a little more. But he mentioned like he wants to, like if we're cool with it, having him a guest on the podcast, and I told him for sure, man. Yeah. Once
we'll
get.
Once we have the room set up.
Once we got the room set up, we could even go to his place or whatever, and just hang out and talk. Have him on the podcast. So he's down to do it. He likes listening to this while he's drawing and stuff. So.
All right, man. Well, I think that's pretty much it. It was just a little 2 episode for this week. We did the first episode was gonna be all.
Yeah, this will be our main episode. If you already listened to it, our Batman vs Superman bonus episode where we talked all about the movie, our thoughts and feelings and.
Thanks for listening, guys. Yeah, stay tuned. Like I said, we are gonna get the video, pretty much portion running up. It's just we're still normal people. We don't get paid for this. We have families, we have lives, so we gotta come up with the dinero. So hopefully when we get this logo deal, we can make some shirts.
That'd be cool. Yeah, getting that logo
out
making
there,
cards and
whatever.
That'd be cool. Rock a T-shirt.
Oh yeah, I know friends would help me out, support me and everything like that.
Nice.
Support us and stuff like that. So besides that, thank you for listening. Subscribe, like, share, hit us up, comment. If you want to be a guest, hit us up, man. We're not picky. We like listening to other people's opinions. We like newcomers.
Yeah, you just join the mix.
We all start somewhere.
Nerdy conversations is a blast, man. Just even like the weekend, so many people with just random strangers. We just start talking and butt in on conversations, and then
exactly. And that's how we butt in. Go ahead. And
we overhear somebody talking about something.
And you said this. Oh, you just chime in with your own opinion.
It's like, oh, well, what about this? Or like, oh, you think this? Or well, this is what I thought about. Yeah, it's fun. It's a blast. So if you guys are into this stuff, if you're listening to this,
and it's only getting easier for the people who get shy out there. I mean, God, our first episode we were kept going. You start. No, you start. I guess I'll start it. And my partner in crime here was like, oh, I can't start. And now look at him, man. He's starting each episode, like just running, And all you had to do the first 2-3 episodes, he was just like, I'm not gonna start till you start, and no big deal. He has his skits going and
I don't know
everything.
if you guys
He
pick
goes
up
on his soapbox.
if
But
you
it's all
guys
good, man.
pick up on my openings, little nerdy Easter eggs that we drop. But yeah, that's one thing about this. If we're gonna get a little personal. I'm super shy, super what's the word? Introverted, I guess.
Mhm.
I can be, outgoing and stuff once I get comfortable with people. Like this whole podcast thing, we had been talking for about maybe 3 years. So we first started working together
We
4
did,
years,
yeah,
where
yeah.
you dropped the idea like we should do this.
And then
And
one
for
day I
you-
was like,
and-
no, F it. We're gonna give us a timetable.
And for you to pick me to like, thank you for like picking me to like join and do this with. Out of all the people you talk to and know, to like, I mean, it's super cool for me. Like, again, maybe 3 years in the works, you'd be dropping like, oh, we should do this.
And it's funny
And
because
I'd always be like, yeah, man, that'd be cool. But at
'cause
the
we-
same time,
we-
I'd be scared. Like,
we'd always
I'm quiet.
we always do it on passing by when I was like, see you at work.
Yeah, we'd pick up a
It
shift
wasn't like I
together
was
and
texting you like, hey, we're gonna do this now. Hey, we should, because every time we pick a shift up,
That's all we did. Was
this is
for
what we're
12
doing.
hours.
Yeah. So it was like, why don't we just record it, put it out there with other people? I mean, last video only had 1 view.
So?
Sucks. Whatever. I don't care, but it's cool, man. And for that person that saw it, thank you. Watch it just be you, Andrew.
But
But-
not even then. I upload it and I don't even like click to review.
I
or
don't ever
nothing. I
click.
upload it and just I leave it out there.
Yeah,
And
I
I
don't-
put it out on Twitter and my Facebook and whoever.
Yeah, I don't watch my own videos. 'Cause I don't want to fluff it
Yeah, but
because I'll
again,
fluff
I
it
mean,
20 times.
To be honest with you, man, like every time you would drop the hint, I'd be like, yeah, man, that'd be awesome. But I'd be like, because I'm like so shy. And
Yeah, and then finally
I
after
don't-
3 years, I
I
was
don't
like,
talk so
I was
much.
like, you know what?
Finally this year.
This next in 2 weeks, Andrew, we're doing it, and
and I had this recorder for months and months and months because my brother like doesn't use it anymore.
Mhm.
I was like, I asked him to borrow it so we could start working on it. And I kind of just told you, it's like, yeah, I have the recorder already. Let's do it whenever. And then like, yeah, same thing. It's like we never kind of got around to it, and I was kind of like, ooh, I don't know if I can.
And then I was like, put a date on it, set in stone, done. And now here we are, months later.
I don't know, like 10, 11 episodes in, plus
Yeah.
our little bonus movie stuff, and it's fun. If nobody listens, it's fun. I'm having fun here, just talking.
Speaking out. All right, guys, game over for us.
Thanks for listening. See you guys.
Take it easy.